Welcome back to Center Stand Mechanics. My name is Kyle, and today we're going to tear down the xs650 for the ultimate zombie apocalypse bike. I've got it partially torn down. If you remember from my last video, I got the cylinders and head off and checked out the rings, and noticed that a lot of the tolerances were way over on the rings, so I'm pretty sure the rings are pretty worn out. And I gotta finish taking the rest of this engine apart. I gotta take everything off and split the cases and just tear it right down and get it right down to bare bones. This engine was seized when I first got it, and the first time I drained the oil out of it, a whole bunch of water came out, and you know, and then I eventually got it to unseize. The transmission was seized too, and eventually I got everything turning again. But and I ended up getting it running, and I did ride it for the summer, and for the most part it worked pretty good, other than the smoking issue I had. And I want to put a new cam chain on it. I've got here's the old one here, still on here. But I've got a new one, and it's a continuous cam chain, doesn't have a master link, and you have to split the cases to get it over the crankshaft and up and installed properly. So that's one of the main reasons for splitting the cases. And the other would be just to have a general overlook of everything, all the, you know, crank bearings and, you know, transmission shaft bearings and all that kind of stuff. And just check out the gears and the shifting forks and everything in there. I want to, you know, have a good look at, clean the two halves of the cases up, you know, and then put everything back together eventually. That'll be in a different video though. And for this video, we're just going to be tearing it down. And if you haven't tearing apart one of these xs650 engines, this should be a good one to watch for that. Yeah, and unfortunately I didn't show a lot of taking the head off and stuff. I probably got, I think like last year I had a video out on, because I've had this engine apart a few times. So if you look back into the last year's Ultimate Zombie Apocalypse series, you can find a video in there of me tearing it apart. But and there's plenty of videos online of tearing these engines apart. But it's what I got to do, and I thought I'd bring you along and run you through the processes and show you what I'm dealing with here. But yeah, and I kind of rearranged my shop a little bit. I got set up a little table over here, and I got some of the engine parts just sitting in, you know, various tubs. These little dishwashing tubs make good little tubs. They're cheap. You can get them fairly cheap. And oh yeah, I got a bunch of stuff, the seat and tank stashed under there. I got the pipes leaned up over there. Just gonna start tearing this apart, and I think I'm gonna have to get a little oil tray to catch oil underneath here, because I think when I get this cover off, there's still a little, I've already drained the oil, but there's always residual oil in here, so I think when I take this cover off, it's gonna dump out a bunch of oil too, so I don't want to get that on the floor. And this engine stand grabs onto the engine down below and up top here, and the problem with that is the engine splits in half, like top and bottom come off. So I'm gonna have to reconfigure how this is attached on here, and yeah, there's gonna be some playing around with that, but we'll worry about that when I'm gonna have to flip it over and prop the front end up with a you know, piece of wood or something, but we'll figure that out. Anyways, so yeah, let's get started. I've got myself set up. I've got a little tray under here just in case I start losing oil. I don't want it on the floor. So yeah, let's get started here. I think I'll start on this side. I'm gonna take off this thing that was holding the cam chain up. Don't need to worry about it dropping down. So I'm just gonna let it fall through. A neutral light switch, just gonna take this lead off. I'm gonna take the stator off and get that. Oh, I just lost that. Where'd that go? I've got a little tray here for parts. That's free. Now there's this little it's like a kind of like a chain guard slash shifter brace thing here. I'm going to take it off because the wire for the stator goes in behind it. It's got a little 12. Is that a 12? Or, yeah, it's a 12. It's got this other nut on here that will take off. I just got to loosen it off right now. And then this thing will come out. So that's this piece here. It's like a little brace. The shifter shaft goes through it. Take that off. And then the wire's free. So now I can take this unit off here, the stator. And I get to use my new screwdriver. So I just bought this screwdriver. It's like an Impact JIS screwdriver. It came with the number 3 JIS and a number 2. And it looks pretty nifty in there. Try to, yeah, works pretty good. There we go. Yeah, this screwdriver had lots of great reviews on Amazon. It was only $22, and it's JIS, and it's Impact, and you can use it as a normal screwdriver too. It's very magnetic too. Like it's got a lot of strength to it, which is nice. It's not like a weak magnetic like some of them are. Yeah, and that one, they calling it Go Fast Innovations. Yeah, it's a good screwdriver. So there's that. So this thing should just come off. There we go. Yeah, and I got the stator. I had all this cleaned up and looking good that last year. So I'll put that and put that up here. You can just pull the clutch rod out. There's another little ball bearing in there that I'll get in a moment when I tip the engine over. I can get this rear sprocket off. I'm just bending over the lock tab washer. Just getting that free. Now, of course, it would have been nice to loosen this off when I had the chain on, because this is just going to spin. But what I was thinking of doing is trying this little setup here. So clamp that down, get that a little tighter. I was thinking of using that, and I got my Impact. This is a 36mm socket. I had to order this special just for this one nut here. And we'll see if this will knock that loose. Alright, here goes. Oh yeah. Like butter. Yeah, that was easy. There we go. That was easy. Not so bad. We'll get this starter gear mechanism off while I'm over here. There's a little springy, wavy looking washer goes on first, and then this little spacer. This gear goes on here like that. So I'll keep that like that. And yeah, you can see oil right there. This is a gasket I made out of a frozen pizza box, and it worked pretty good. I didn't have any problems with it. Only thing is now it's stuck on there pretty good. So I'll have to, oh look at that, I can maybe peel this off. Oh, it's coming. Let's see if I can get this off in one go here. Oh, so far so good. Oh yeah, look at that. Nice. Beautiful. Okay, so when I tip this over, this is gonna pour out a little bit of oil. There. Yeah, little nut washer. Just gonna double up this wrench there. Okay, so that's 2 of the crankcase bolts. I'm going to try to get this piston off here. Just got to take out this little clip. There we go. Whoa. There's a little clip. So I've got a little really long brass rod, and I'm just giving that a tap. That should come off. There we go. Put the piston out here. I'm gonna look at that later. Okay, so that's one piston out. Let's take the other one out. Try not to bend this clip up too much, because if you just reef on it, you'll bend it. There. And that's not good. There. There's the other piston. We're on the right side of the engine. And we're going to take this clutch cover off. First I'll take the dipstick out. Just put that in there. Take this oil. That doesn't feel good. There we go. There. Just going to take this oil filter housing out. Oh. So yeah, we'll just go around and Okay, so I'm putting my thumb on this Kickstarter shaft because you want that to stay in there and just kind of wiggle. There we go. Let me just pop that off. There. I'm gonna let that drain out. Okay. So here we are. You have to peel this gasket off. It's stuck on there. Got most of it off. That's pretty good. Okay. Let's pop this Kickstarter gear out. Bring this out there. There we go. I found an old axle bolt of my Honda 650. It fits right in there perfectly. So that's good. Let's see if I can. There's one. There's two. And this screwdriver works good, guys. Tip fits in there nicely. There's good action on the impact. Yeah, I like this screwdriver. There. See, no damage to the heads. Those, they're all perfect. I'll just take all these out. There. Okay, so this whole plates and everything should come off. That's one. There we go. Put that on the bench. Little push rod thing. Just gonna bend over the lock tabs. So I've got this special pair of vice grips, so it'll clamp onto here. Like so. And you can hold onto that basket and crank this nut off here. There we go. Like so. Yeah. Right tool for the right job, right? There, so we got that, and that. Take those off now. Okay, so this has a series of washers and bushings and all kinds of stuff. So we'll try to take it off in order, like so. Yeah. That's got the whole shebang right there. So the thing to do to keep all that in order, just run a zip tie through everything. And that way you won't lose track of it. There. Making sure it's going the right way. It is regular thread. It wasn't coming right away though. Hey, you just never know sometimes. Okay, so we got a lock washer, the nut. Oh, there's a pin in here, right there. Okay, don't forget the pin. And is there a washer here? Yeah, there's a washer. Okay, washer. And then gear. This looks the same. Oh no, there's a recess on this side for the washer. Okay. And then you got like a Woodrow key here. Okay. Just like so here. And then you got these two little guys, which I got a special, my favorite little cap for putting stuff in. This is good for fitting under float bowls and collecting gas, so I like this little tray, but I'll put those in there. Okay, I'm on the other side of the engine, and I'm gonna just turn this a bit. Yeah, a bunch of oil's gonna drip out of there. Okay, so now I want to take this rotor off. See if we can bust this loose. There we go. You gotta be careful with this impact. It's got a lot of torque. It can mess up a bolt in seconds. Okay, so there's that. Oh, there's this special rotor puller that you need for this engine. I ordered it a while back and haven't used it yet. But so it's basically got this part that threads over the outside, and you need this to get this off, otherwise you'll just end up wrecking the rotor. So you get that on there nice and tight, and you turn the inside on like so. So this is a 16 mil, which is really odd. I hardly ever use 16 mil. Easy, easy, easy. There we go. There. There. Just like so. There's a little key in here. This is something to check out. These get half sheared or sheared completely off. And that'll throw your timing marks out. So when you're trying to line up your cam, because there's a timing mark on here, right there. And then if that's askew a little bit, you'll mess yourself up as you're lining everything up. It was one of the things I was looking into when I was trying to get this thing running right. Is take the little circlip and washer out for the shift shaft. And I think all I need for that, I'm going to take this bar out. Don't need that in there anymore. Tilt this up a bit. Oh, that's one of the ball bearings for the clutch rod just rolled out. There's another one on this side. I'm gonna have to poke something through there and get the rest of that out. I'll do that in a minute. Yeah, so right here. So this little guy comes out like so. There's a couple of little spots. You can get a screwdriver in there and just give it a twist and it'll pop out. And there's that. Is there a washer on there too? Nope. No washer. Okay. Interesting. I thought there would be a washer on there too. Okay, let's see here. No, everything's off here that I need. Okay, back to the other side. Okay, now I'll try to get this shift shaft out. I just gotta flick this thing down here and then pull and wiggle. There you go. There. That comes out. And then there's a couple of... There's a gear here. It's got to come out, and then we got to take the Bendix gear out. I think this is a different... Yeah. This is the number 2 JIS. This comes out of here somehow, yeah. Oh, there. Put that with my special parts. Yeah, so the gear just slides out. This is just a shaft that goes through the engine over to the starter. And yeah, so that comes off. And then, gotta get your little clip removers. There's a little clip here. This one's a small one, it's got little holes here. Come on. Only got part of it. There we go. So that's part of that. I just noticed this washer came off the shift shaft. I'll put that back on there just to remember where it goes. And then there's a whole bunch of little things that come off with this. So there's like a little, like a dish washer. Then there's these 2 little half clips that come out. These actually keep the gear on. And then there's a washer and the gear. Everything should come off now. Yeah, this whole mechanism. Yeah, so there's that. And then, so this is the teeth that actually engage with the crank. And I've seen these worn out before, like they'll be like half chewed off. And a lot of the times it's this little piece here, you got to pinch this closed a little bit, give it some more friction. That way it can fully throw out and engage properly. You want it to be kind of stiff to move on there. You don't want it loose. But that feels good. So I'll put all those together. Grab this and this. It goes in my special pieces dish. Okay. Now what else do we got here? Just gonna get this cam chain tensioner out. There we go. I'll just crack them loose first. There we go. Now, I'm just gonna switch to my old screwdriver because it's longer for this application. Now that those are loose, I can get these out. One thing I noticed when I was putting this together last time is there's 4 of these threaded screw bolts here, and they're different. Like this side has threads they're shorter with threads all the way up to the top, and then this side I think is longer with a bit of a shank to it. I'll show you. And so you don't want to mix them up. Yeah, see how they're different? And so there's like a shank on here, and this one doesn't have that, plus it's longer. And if you look down in there, looks like it's, you know, made that way because one of them has no threads until you get down a little bit further, and the other one has threads right at the top, so you can tell that it's designed that way. I'm not sure why. It doesn't, it's not obvious to me why that is. I gotta flip this around and see if I can get the starter out. Alright, so can I get the starter out with the engine and the stand here? I might have to loosen it because this right here, it's just my engine stand the way it's bolted on here. There's this piece of angle iron and it's almost touching the starter. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it out, but let's give it a try. Oh yes, look at that. Should we take all this stuff off while we're here? So I already had these drain bolts loose, so they should just come off like nothing. Yeah. There we go. Just taking off this sump cover here. Okay, so I'm pretty close to starting to undo all the bolts, split the case. And there's a couple right here on top that I gotta get. I'm gonna get them first, but I have to, this bracket that's holding the engine is in the way, so I've unbolted the bracket, and I've got my little hoist thing here on the front of the engine. And I'm just gonna tilt the engine down forward so I can get those bolts out first, and then I'll rig this back up. So if I lower it down like so, and so now I have clear access, I can get these bolts. This one maybe not quite so much. I'll just keep lowering it down here. Oh, it's stuck on something there. You gotta be careful when you're twisting it on those brackets, because you'll, yeah, I see how it's up against here. That's as far as I can go, but that should be enough to get that one out. Just gonna pick this up, so a little bit of weight's off it. Yeah, you gotta watch stuff like that, because this will snap through the case if I'm not careful. I'll get this one first because it's the most problematic here. There we go. Take it out. And I'll go up a little bit over. Take some more of that weight off. And then there's just these three in here I gotta do. Take them out first. All different sizes. Okay. Now I'm going to take the chain off. There goes that. And I'll flip this over. First I wanted to show you, so these two little brackets here, when the engine's in the frame, these go actually over here and hold the engine in the frame, but I just use them over here in a way to give this something to hold on to when I get doing it here. And take this off. And then I'm just gonna roll this around. Like so. Okay. It's the next day now, and I had to run and do, I have another project I was doing outside, but I managed to get this thing all propped up. I just got a 2x4 I had sitting around, just notched it out at the bottom, fit over top of that stand frame there at the bottom, and then I just put some screws with some washers in here, and but yeah, it's pretty solid on there. And then now that gives me access. I took the little brackets off of here that were holding it onto here, and then now they're out of the way. I just unbolted them off of here, and now this half of the crankcase should be able to come off. All I got left to do is undo these series of nuts that are on here all over, and it should, with a little bit of you know, hitting it with the rubber mallet and stuff, I should be able to get this off. Oh, I see one little nut right there. I don't want to forget that one. And yeah, before I start banging on it, I want to make sure I got everything loose. I don't want to crack the case, so we'll be double checking all that. I think I'll get this one out right now that I'm looking at it. But yeah, well, let's get started. It shouldn't take too long. Yeah, we'll get this guy out of the way. This is one of those ones that would be easily forgotten about. Just double up a wrench and get in there. It wasn't too tight. There's no washer on this one though, so I wonder if that got forgotten about. Someone else was in here before me. But there's that, and then it looks like these are all 12 millimeter. So we'll get the impact, and just start cranking them out. I'm just gonna loosen them first. Okay, and I've got these other ones that are from the top. They're already done, so looks like there's some of these have copper washers and some of them are regular washers. I'll have to go around and pick out all the washers off of here before I go and try to take this apart. I think that's all of them. So I'll try tapping on this to see if it'll come here. Okay, so I got it to budge loose here. So what I ended up doing, I put the nuts back on the clutch shaft here and just started hitting it up, and that kind of popped it loose. The same thing on this side. I put the nut back on the counter shaft here and then whacked it up really hard. I had to hit it pretty hard. And then, so now it's cracked loose. So that's something. And I just got to get it the rest of the way. Let's see. There we go. There we go. So a little bit of prying and a little bit of hitting. She didn't want to break free at first. That was a little bit difficult. Yeah, I think that's mostly out now. Let's see if we can wiggle this off. Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, here she comes. Here she comes. Yay! Alright. We'll put this down here. Oh yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, she's grimy in there. Okay. Yeah, definitely needs a clean up. Okay. So here we go. Oh, I should be able to pop these gears out. There's the final drive set. I took the bearing and everything. That's okay. Plunk that down in there. We'll have a look at that later. Got the little keeper thing there. Okay. Now comes the other cluster here. There we go. I don't see any broken teeth just at first glance. Oh, that's cool. Actually looks pretty good. Surprisingly, this thing was froze up solid. We'll put that down in there. Okay, so we pop our crank out of here. Wasn't too pretty. That's the way she goes. So the trouble with this thing is it doesn't come off of here very easily. I'm hoping there's a way to get this off. I just haven't figured out yet. I'm gonna have to look into that. So there's a couple of lock tab things on these little bolts here. Bend them over. I'm just taking off the little keepers and springs for the shift shaft, or the shift drum I should call it. Just going to loosen it up so I can get this out. So there's a special little bolt that goes in there. And then these other little guys come out. Okay, so this thing, so here's this, the little lock tab, little flappy thing. It goes on here like, I think it went like that on there. Yeah, something like that, I think. I gotta get these little cotter pins off of the these little pins that, yeah, that's gonna be tricky. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this. This is like an oiler rod, stay rod for the shift fork, so they kind of glide along here. Pull that out. Put that in here. Now these flop around a little more. We still got to get these pins out. Oh, let's start with this one here. Yeah, I just snipped the wings off, and then this should come out now. There, I managed to get that cotter pin out. Yeah, it'll make it easy. So I clipped the top off, and now I'm just trying to fish out the rest here. There's one half of it. Oh, here comes the other half. Oh, almost. There we go. There's the other half. This one might be a little easier because it's more upright. There we go. So now, am I going to be able to get these little guide pins out? Everything looks pretty rusted. That's what. Yeah, that's the problem. Oh, that one's moving. So what I did for this one, it was stuck in there. I got a screw and I just kind of tapped it in and turned it, and then now I got this one to pop free. Now the only one that I got to work on next is this other one, which is far down there. I don't know how I'm going to get a screw in that one though. Okay, well next, so I just got this one in the center here to figure out. Alright. Yeah, so if you're not sure what I'm trying to get out, it's these little guide pins that go in here, and there's a groove on this shift drum that it rides in, and I can't get the shift drum out until I get these out. So there's one, and I had to use the screw to get that. And I got one more, and it's gonna be the most difficult one. Alright, I gotta figure something out for that. Okay, so I just fought with this thing for about an hour. This one pin on this one shifter fork I couldn't get it to come out, and you know, there's no real way to getting in here. And what I ended up doing is I managed to get just enough sight on it that I could hit it from the backside and kind of wedge the tip of this drive right in. So I kind of followed the groove down and caught the backside and tapped it, and it worked its way out. And then now I'm pretty sure I can get this out. That was no fun. Oh, I see what's going on. Okay, one more thing I gotta take out. There's this neutral detent thing. What size is that? It's not big enough. Oh, it's loose anyways. Yeah, there's this little neutral little bump with a bolly thing here. Or it's not like a bolly, it's a little dimple in the spring, so that comes out. And then this thing should slide out. Yay! Finally got the shift drum out. So there's that. And then these should be numbered. So this one's got a number 1 on it. Number 2. Yeah, so 1's right here. Number 2 and number 3. Okay, well that was fun. And then there's just some bits of cotter pin in here. Oh yeah, and the neutral switch is on the other side. Okay, so I'll put this stuff in here for now. I've got to do a big cleanup of all these parts. It's going to take me a while, but that's pretty much it in a nutshell. There's this one neutral switch thing I can get out later, and there's this one the starter shaft gear just pulls out like so, and then you got to get that down in there before you put the two halves together. But we'll put that in here for cleaning. And yeah, that's just about it for this video. I think I'll end the video there, and yeah, start cleaning up. But so I hope that video will help someone tear one of these engines down. There's a little bit of stuff to it, but going back together will be probably a little harder. I gotta get everything cleaned up and checked out and measured up, and I have most of the gaskets and seals and everything I need, and rings, and I think I have pretty much everything I need to put this engine back together. So it'll be mostly just cleaning and whatnot. I've got a ultrasonic cleaner that will help with that, so I'll be running loads of parts through it and get them all lined up and cleaned. But it's quite a bit of parts here. We got the main block there, and I've got all the engine pieces in here and some of the stuff that goes onto the you know, frame and stuff. And then we got carbs, and you know, and I got parts and stuff all over my workbench. And you got this thing here. This will be a fun unit to clean, but yeah, it's all part of it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and stay tuned for when I get all this stuff cleaned up and I put it all back together. That should be a good one. And yeah, until then, we'll see you again real soon. Center Stand Mechanics out.